Hi,
And we're
we're
live.
live.
Yay. Welcome, everybody. So, today we're going to be talking about skincare for empowered aging.
Hey, my name is Maria, and this is Samantha, and together we are Magical Medicine.
Yeah, we founded the business 2 years ago, and we are passionate about Ayurveda and bringing health into the world in a holistic way and helping people age with strength and vitality. And so that's really what we're all about. Our
Yeah, I think
mission,
I will. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so our company mission, so we set the business up, like I said, 2 years ago. Maria and I both are Ayurvedic practitioners, and we really wanted to help people age, like I said, the strength and vitality, and in order to do that, we wanted to really help people reshape how they see and perceive aging, because our society, we feel, undermines the aging process and doesn't put enough value on the aging process, and there can be a lot of unworthiness felt in people as they age. Especially, I mean, I felt it myself as I turned 50. I noticed I started to see the inner monologue happening to myself on how I was perceiving myself as I was aging. What's really important to us is to empower people so that they can really have a joyfully wiser aging journey.
Yeah, I think our mission is, in general, we wanted to redefine how aging is perceived in society so that people feel that the process is valuable. They feel valued members of society. They feel empowered, they feel healthy. And I think what really happens, as you shared, Sam, about your age and about how you felt. So I'm only turning 40 in a few months, and I definitely started feeling at around 30, I started feeling that my value is declining as I age. I started noticing my first fine lines and wrinkles, and like really looking and seeing, oh my God. And I think, and then I was started to analyze, where is that coming from? And I realized that a lot of that is defined and imposed on me, screaming at me from like social media platforms. The beauty industry tells me, fix yourself, girl, like this is not okay. And I think it's really, really sad. We really like disempowering people to age in a natural, healthy way. Um, so
Yeah,
there is so much value and wisdom, but it's all kind of discarded, and it's all about the looks at the end. So, which is sad, even though we all want to look awesome and amazing. It is fine. It's completely fine to look after ourselves, but what I think from magical medicine perspective, what we want is to empower people to look their best with benefits to their health, because beauty and health, they're one. The health is foundation of the beauty. And I really like how in Ayurveda, the good skin is a reflection of rasa dhatu, and rasa dhatu is the liquid portion of blood. So it's what we eat, is digestion, that the digested food. And it's really that essence of food, which is circulating through the body, is reflecting in good skin. So we can't separate what we eat, what we think, what we put on our skin from health. And it will all define how healthy we are, will actually translate into how our skin looks, how we age. It's all important. It's not about like one magic pill and one solution which will fix it all, which many sources are trying to present, that take one supplement and then you will stay young forever.
yeah, it's true. And I think, like you touched on at the beginning, the kind of shame, we're being shamed into aging in a way, and we see it. It's being, the subliminal messages are coming in from everywhere around it, and there's like a kind of shaming around it, and I've felt that myself. And we need to stop that. We need to stop that because actually it's a privilege to be aging and it's a beautiful journey. And actually, for me personally, at 50, I wouldn't want to go backwards to being 20 and all the challenges and everything that life was throwing at me then. You know, I believe these are my best years. I'm having, you know, because I'm aging in an empowered way, because I've got the knowledge, and that's really what we're wanting to share here on the platform, is giving our viewers, our clients, the knowledge so they can make informed choices on how to age in a healthy way. So like you were just saying with the Rasa Datu, it's like to age with that kind of glow about you, to age it with vitality. I mean, that's everybody's dream. And unfortunately, here in the West, it's more of a sick care system than a healthcare system. And we need to kind of build this bridge, which is, I think, where Western medicine and the holistic medicine, such as Ayurveda, which we're both trained in, can come together so nicely, because Ayurveda is more like preventative, how to look at what you're eating, like your diet, your lifestyle, the way you look after your thoughts and emotions and how they interact with your physical form. And it kind of looks at all of that. And then, of course, we've got our beautiful Western science, where we've got, all the diagnostics and our dedicated doctors and nurses that are working, to help as well. And so the both of them work quite nicely together. And I think the shaming that we have around the aging journey, that's like a big one for us here at Magical Medicine, to kind of reshape how people see and perceive it. And I think, we have to talk about what's happening with the messaging, like the beauty industry. I mean, who's benefiting from telling us that a wrinkle is not okay? Who's profiting from making us live in fear of aging? These questions are really important, and people have got to wake up to it, because they're playing on our insecurities. They're playing on our feeling of low self-worth, because we feel that we're losing our value as we age, because those are the messages we're being told. And of course, like, so for me at 50, I was, I've finished menopause, or I'm postmenopausal, let's say, that's the right way of saying it. And I noticed, like, the elastic, my skin was starting to feel super saggy, and it creates some kind of panic. I have to be honest. Like, you get to a certain point and fear. And so that's where they can get you when you're feeling like that. And then people are, sometimes forced into making decisions that maybe not so healthy, because they don't know any different. They don't know that there are other options out there. And that's kind of where we wanted to go with it, isn't it, Maria? Like, to inform people and offer them healthy alternatives, so their skin can feel better and their body can feel better.
Yeah, I think it's really what our desire is, to step in and empower people. Yes, look after themselves, and have the most amazing skin as they age. It's important. Yes, we do want to look great. And as you shared about your experience of losing value, I'm only just going to turn 40 in a few months, but the same, I was noticing that those wrinkles are really affecting me. And it's because of the messages of that, like, you need to fix them. And I agree that we want to look our best at all times, but it still comes with embracing the aging journey. So we need to embrace that aging will happen no matter what. And I think for people, maybe just to come to terms with that, is, if you look at celebrities, and these are people who have access to the best modern treatments, to whatever the science has to offer, they still age. They still age, and you can still see that there is a difference between a 50-year-old woman who tries really hard to look 20 and a 20-year-old woman. Yeah, like, you can look amazing at 50, or you can look also good, but like, you're really, really trying to hide your age. And that's where we want to show people that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Value yourself as you age. It's powerful to experience to be in this body at 40, at 50, at 60.
Yeah, but that's exactly that. That's a really important point, because it's so difficult, I think, in the society that we live in, to accept it. To just, and that's that's the tricky thing, because the minute you can accept it and you're okay with it, then everything changes. Well, certainly in my experience, it was like that. And you can try and live in the past, and society wants you to think anti-aging and all these awful words that are out there. But what if you're pro-aging? What if you're actually cool with it? How do you get from
Yeah,
the anti-aging mentality to the pro-aging mentality? Well, that's down to you. That's down to the individual. That's an inner journey that has to happen. But the minute it does, it doesn't mean that you're just like, you just want to like fall apart and become a victim of aging. That's not what we're saying. But what we're saying is the minute that you can accept it, then you can step into your power, and you can be empowered in your aging journey, and you can educate yourself, and you can, you know, you can basically live a healthy life and look amazing at the same time, because there are so many alternatives out there of natural
exactly.
products
Yeah,
and
you
natural
can.
things to do.
Yes, I think it's all what you just said about making decisions from the place of power. So if you making those decisions from embracing the truth that aging will happen no matter what, it will happen. You will never be 18 again. And it is good. It's actually cool. It means that you're living your life. You're not like staying in a capsule. You're evolving. You're becoming wiser. There are so many cool things about aging. And, you know, for me, my experiences that I had, the way I live and see the life, the way I value people, the way I give value back to the society, I think all those aspects improved so much as I aged. And I can't just discard them for the sake of a few wrinkles that I have. Like, I don't want to. And from this place of truth and from acceptance and this realization, then I look at how I can nourish and feed my body as I age. It doesn't, as you said, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be now, okay, so I'm aging, it doesn't matter, I'm not going to be doing anything like, I'm not going to be putting makeup, I'm not playing the game, basically. It's not like that. No, you are looking after your body, but you want to look after your body from the perspective of giving it the best nourishment, the best quality ever. Not
Yeah,
like trying to fix those small things and, like put one negative on top of the other and then face the consequence, but
yeah,
rather come from that place of like true love, like nourishing your body that with that love, understanding from the perspective of health, it just changes everything.
totally. Really, 100%. And I think it's like a self-worth thing that you're talking about, like loving yourself enough to do what's right for your body and not think about the short term. It's like a battlefield out there, I kind of feel. And I went through it from the age of 40 to 50, where I wasn't really as educated as I am now on alternatives. And, I tried to reverse myself a little bit, like everybody falls into that, a lot of people fall into that trap. But the problem with it is it's just not sustainable. It's like not a sustainable way to live, in my opinion. And I think more and more evidence is coming out about that now, that, yeah, you can have these quick fixes, but actually they're not healthy for you. You can put all the products on your face that you want, but if you're not putting natural products on your face, then you're basically putting toxic products on your face, which is going into your bloodstream. If you're having the different treatments, etc., done, then yeah, for the short-term effects, it's great, but is it really sustainable for the next 10, 20 years, 30 years? Probably not. Well, most likely not. So you kind of have to have enough self. So that's what I meant about the battlefield. It's like these solutions are coming in all over the place. These so-called quick fixes, magic solutions are coming in, and they're coming at us from everywhere. The minute you pick up your phone, the minute you go into a retail shop that's selling beauty products, everything's promising you these things, and you have to go through that journey, I think, and then you get to a point where well, for me anyway, in my experience, you just accept it, and then you start to be okay with it, and then you start to really nourish yourself. You get to that point that you're talking about there, where you're just looking to nourish and nurture this amazing vessel. And then what you start to see is these huge improvements in your energy, in your skin, in your life, in your relationships, and it's a beautiful thing. Like I mentioned before, like the word joyfully wiser. It's like you're getting more joyful as you're getting wiser, as you're getting older.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
think
let's reframe it like that. I think that's much more positive and empowering.
Yes, definitely. So, as we had that broad idea about redefining aging and redefining how people perceive and experience aging in our society, as like a very broad aim of our company, then we really needed to start from somewhere. So we started from skincare, like a small skincare range that we have. And the skincare range, the aim of it is also to support and nourish the skin deeply as we age. And we come from the place of embracing the aging journey, but also really, because everything screams at us like we need this 10-step skincare routine, and we need to add this and also this and take this supplement and this and that. And if you are in your 20s, maybe you can allow that time. But when you are like, you have your children, you have relationships, and you also have work to attend to, you have so many things, you have such a busy life. And then where at which point we are meant to do this 10-step skincare routine, apply infinite products, I just don't really see how that's possible.
Yeah, well, not in a comfortable way. Not in a comfortable way, I think.
No, definitely at the sacrifice of something else. Like,
Yeah,
it has to be that. And that's why the social media screams at us this super smooth faces, is that, like, making people want it and then selling more and more products. And I think what we're trying to say is that actually you don't really need more, you need good quality products which nourish your skin on a deep level. And that's why we developed our range, which is not only nourishing the skin on the physical level, but also nourishes the skin on an energetic level. So what you need is less. You only need, like, our skincare range only consists of a cleanser and an oil, but it's so super nourishing for the skin. And to be honest, like, I've been using that now, just for the sake of experiment initially, but then actually I realized I don't need anything else. That's just like, it completely balances and nourishes my skin. So only these two products I was using for 6 months now, for over 6 months, and I will share my results, which I think are beautiful, absolutely. And I love that. I love that my skincare routine is 2 steps and 1 minute a day.
yeah,
I think there is nothing more beautiful than that. Like, where is time to do like 2 hours of skincare a day? Well, you have to really be obsessed by the way you look like.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think, I mean, I'm also doing that. So even on my skin, obviously, decade between Maria and I, that's also great for me. And what I actually really love, so when we were creating the magical medicine skincare collection, we wanted to turn it into like a ritual experience, just to touch on the points that we made earlier, which is making time to reinforce the positive messages to yourself as you're looking in the mirror. Because even though you may not be conscious of it, we're very self-critical, and we're like, oh gosh, look at this and that. And like when we're talking to ourselves, the inner monologue. And so when Maria said like nourishment, it's like that's exactly what we want to offer on all layers of self. So nourishing the skin, nourishing the thoughts in the ritual. We're saying like positive affirmations in front of the mirror, nourishing the soul. So it's like just a really beautiful thing, it really is. And we took a lot of time and effort in creating the beautiful ritual that goes with each of our products. And I think that's kind of a reflection also on the time and effort that we spent in creating the formulas and really trying to source the finest quality ingredients. And we didn't want to put too many things in. So it's like a less is more philosophy. We wanted to create synergy in the formulas because that's what Ayurveda is all about. Ayurveda is all about balance. It's not about like, let's just, oh, this is good for you, this is good for you, let's just chuck it all in, which is very much a Western philosophy, like let's take green juices, for example, the explosion that happened with green juices in our culture. Like suddenly green juice is good, so people are just putting everything they can into this green juice, mixing it all up, and then it's
Okay.
creating imbalances, and it's the same
Creating
with
balance.
skincare. Yeah, you put too much in there. So what we did is we carefully thought about every single ingredient, and with our knowledge on Ayurvedic herbs, and especially herbs which are nourishing for mature skin, we then were able to choose exactly the right products to go in there, or ingredients to go in there. So it's been really well thought out, hasn't it? And we're just delighted with the way the
Yeah, I
products
think it's
perform.
that you're touching upon the smoothies, and it's really a great example because actually I was doing that. I was taking green smoothies, and because I didn't have enough time, I was thinking I will just put everything, all the nutrition possible, into that green smoothie, and just to the idea was that I will nourish my body. And the same idea is with this multi-step skincare routines where you add a lot of products, and then our skin is not a chemistry lab. It's not supposed to have this amount of different products on. So what happens is the same with a smoothie with multi-ingredients. At the end, I started to be sick all the time. Like, the problem was not a smoothie itself. If it had like three components, my smoothie had about 20 different ingredients. I was putting fruits, vegetables, nuts, I was putting extra powders there, everything. And then my body was confused. Like, I started to be, even though in general I'm in good health, but that time I was like sick and then out of it and then sick again and again, until I had to stop that. It's same as a meal which is made of, like, you mix everything together, meat and fish and dairy and seafood and a lot of veggies, and that all on one plate. it- Maybe you think it's really good, but the body gets confused with too much.
Yeah, simplicity is important, I think, and like we said, like synergies. So making sure that we don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Um, so we chose the best ingredients and we keep it super simple. But one of the most important things here is everything that goes onto your skin goes straight into the bloodstream.
Well,
You
if
know,
it
so
absorbs, yeah, if it penetrates the skin, like obviously the skin is made to protect our body. So many products are like just too big to penetrate. But if they penetrate, then they definitely reach your bloodstream, and then they just
yeah, so we have to be,
yeah,
it's so difficult for people to know really what's inside the products. And when we were researching our collection, we did a lot of research, and we were looking at all the different ingredients that people had, and we were like very thorough, and we were shocked, weren't we, at really what goes in. And I know this is a hot topic, and people are very well educated nowadays, but even some of the natural labeled natural are still using like synthetic fragrances and things like that. So we have to just be careful. And the more we're putting on,
yeah,
obviously, the more is going into the bloodstream, and then it's having to be processed by the liver. And our philosophy here at Magical Medicine is that health is the foundation of beauty. So if it's not healthy for you, we're not going to put it into our products. And that's an absolute must for us. It's one of our core values. So and it wasn't easy, believe me, it's not been easy because, we're using a lot of Ayurvedic herbs. It would have been lovely, if we can make it smell a certain way, and if we can
that
make
was
it
the idea.
look
Yeah,
a
that was
certain
the problem
colour.
that we faced. Actually, that smell was the biggest issue that we faced, because we wanted to be um, really lovely. Like, we know that smell is important, and our smell is beautiful. But then the issue was that we were thinking that, but there are so many natural companies who are doing that naturally. But what happened, and we were so disappointed about that actually, because the smell is one of the actually most toxic ingredients in skincare, and many companies are actually hiding behind labels that actually put non-natural ingredients. It was really disheartening to know that, and it was really challenging make to create the smell which is both nourishing to the sense of smell, but also contributing to the skincare rather than compromising.
Yeah,
And that's why we've chosen a pure rosotto, which is the most precious essential oil in the world. It's the most precious, and it's the most beneficial for the skin.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's beautiful. I love it when we make up when we have our manufacturing days because with the risottos, just like because it's a heart opener as well. So like energetically, it opens your heart. It's like a very feminine scent. It's it does a lot for the energy field, but it also just smells divine. And everything that goes into the products has a benefit. So there's nothing in there that's not going to benefit your skin. And we didn't just stop there. Because obviously Ayurveda is holistic, we wanted to make sure we were addressing like the different aspects of the self. And so we have got everything for the physical form in these amazing formulas. We've got for your mental emotional body, we've got the beautiful ritual, but also we've got for the energetic body, we've infused our products with prana, which is life force energy. And we've done that because we're pranic healers, we're energy healers, and we have special techniques. So we were able to put these healing vibrations into the product. So it's also working when you're putting it on, it's also working on your energy field. So it's actually magnetizing your aura. And what we noticed, Maria, do you want to share with what we noticed when we were making formulas for our patients? Because I think this will be really
Yeah, it
helpful.
was interesting because we are both Ayurvedic practitioners, but since we learned energy healing and we started energizing the herbs and the formulas which were given to our customers, we've noticed that the healing rate increased. And we thought, okay, so we are onto something here. And for those people who are familiar with energy, they understand that energy is actually, it's real. It's key to formation of any imbalances, diseases, and even though it's not visible, it's there. And that's why we wanted to create a skincare range where it's simple, so nourishing, but not just on the physical level. Yes, we've chosen the best herbs. Yes, we went to India and we're manufacturing the oil in the authentic Ayurvedic way on a small factory in small batches. And the process takes about 5 days to completely infuse the oil and let the oils, the herbs steep into the oil. But we also creating this nourishment on the energetic level through energy healing. And we definitely, even people who don't believe in energy, they've noticed the results. And they were, well, one of my friends told me that, oh, it was so strange. Like people started giving me compliments all of a sudden. And then she was like, actually, I think it might be because of the oil. And that's because when the aura expands, because the oil also feeds your aura on the energetic level and changes the energy around you. It's just magical. Yeah,
Yeah.
that creates the edge. It's not more, it's not adding more, another product, another uh, ingredient. Minimal but the highest quality. And what is changing the entire process is, apart from that nourishment on physical and energetic level, is what Sam said about the ritual. Because when you really deeply connect on with yourself, and that the ritual, which is a QR code on each product, it takes you to this breath work, to affirmations, to really um, revisit how you speak to yourself, because we are our harshest critics. And it so like change that small skincare time into a small ritual of self-love. And also there is a technique, we're also teaching a technique in the ritual where the oil is applied on the marma point, so it can go deeply into this, the the points which sit on top of the on the skin. So like, they're most accessible points of energy, where the prana is really close to the surface. And when you apply the energy infused oil onto those points, the result is absolutely magical.
Yeah, so the Marma points are basically the equivalent to the acupuncture points in Chinese medicine. It's just the Indian version, and we have them all over our body. We have 108 of them on our body, and so the massage Maria is talking about comes with facial oil QR code, and you're putting the nourishing oil that's been infused with energy onto these certain points on the face and the neck and the ears, and it's it's like these are like the main centers where the energy lines cross, and so it connects straight into your energetic field and the chakras, and boom, your aura is expanded. And it's also, some of them are very relaxing as well, aren't they, Maria? Some of these points that you can press, I think you do an explanation on
All
your
of them all of
tutorial.
them are really deeply relaxing because, as you said, that the points are located at the intersection of the main bone and muscle structures, and that's where the prana or energy, life energy, is the closest to the surface level, and that they are access points. That's where we can easily um, achieve balance for actually massaging and stimulating those points. We can achieve internal balance. And Chinese medicine talks a lot about it, how the internal organ health is connected to these vital points. I think we can also mention the ingredients in the formulas. So,
I mean, do you remember the story? Do you remember when we went to India and we found the amaranth oil, and
oh,
it
that
was
was so
such
cool.
an
Yeah.
amazing experience? We were traveling in India. We were researching for our ingredients. We wanted to go and visit every single place to make sure that they were at the high standards we needed them to be. And we'd already made some relationships with Ayurvedic doctors over the 10 years or so of studying Ayurveda, and friendships, really, I suppose. And so we had some really good connections. And we flew to this particular place in India, and we were going to see somebody who we hadn't met before. And then they were like, "Oh, I actually want you to come and meet my friend." So we got in the car and we drive for a few hours, didn't we? And then we got to
in the
this
in the
to this
most immense heat,
yeah, it
which
was
you can
extremely hot.
imagine.
We were like melting, but we got to meet this guy, and he was so passionate about amaranth. And he had a beautiful factory that he just opened, and he was doing a CO2 extraction process. So his amaranth seeds were going into his CO2 extraction process. So it was completely green technology, and he gave us a little sample of his oil. And I think originally we were not. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can't remember if we were going to put amaranth in or not now. But the minute we tried it, we couldn't get enough of it, could we? We absolutely loved
Oh
it.
gosh, he
And
only gave us a small bottle, and we were like, "Oh my goodness! Like,
yeah,
how are we gonna share it?"
We were like fighting over it. Like, who's gonna?
Uh, it was sinking right into the skin, and only it was the experience, the immediate experience. I didn't really know that amaranth is so amazing, but then after that, we'll learn that the amaranth is the most compatible to the human sebum. So what happens is that skin cells can easily absorb it, and that if you've experienced applying our oil, it just sinks straight in. It doesn't create any greasy residue, or like it just absorbs straight in. And it's because it's the amaranth, and it's one of the main constituents, and it's also full of squalene. Many other products are also offering squalene, but many of them are offering synthetically derived squalene,
Yeah,
while amaranth is the richest natural source of squalene, and it's so beautiful. Like, it's I think it's a must in, especially with mature and aging skin, because it replenishes this oily fatty layer of the skin so well. It's really great.
yeah, and it's the same with. So when Maria was talking about the smell we talked about earlier, and there's another ingredient. So obviously, in this we're talking about our facial oil at the moment, our magical medicine facial oil. So the amaranth oil is super special, and we just feel so blessed that we found this amazing manufacturer that makes it in such a green way, and it's just lovely. And then the other ingredient that we add is the rose essential oil from the Bulgarian Rose Valley. I mean, I don't know if anyone's ever been there before, but this place is phenomenal. And the reason we chose Rose Otto is because it is the way that they distill it. So it is the most gorgeous, most expensive oil you can buy because it's distilled with steam. It's so delicate. So one single drop is the equivalent to two full rose bushes, if you can imagine how many roses that is. And that just goes into one drop. So one drop is in each of the bottles. So it's equivalent to two full rose bushes. And again, it's a very green technology. There's no alcohol used in that process, no chemicals at all. So both of those processes are toxic free. And then the other oils we're using are all cold pressed. So again, they don't use any toxins at all. And Maria also mentions the traditional Ayurvedic manufacturing process. So our herbs are seeped, as she said. So, that's all done really in a very small setting by hand. It's done by hand in a small setting. So there's a lot of love and energy that goes into the products. A bit like a home cooked meal. It feels a bit like that.
Yeah, there's
There's
so
no
much
mass
love.
industrial manufacturing. Everything's done by somebody who we built a relationship with, or by ourselves.
Oh, I
So
think I have it here. I think it's like also maybe nice to show it. It's so that's the product, and we also selected as Ayurvedic practitioners. We know that Vata is the dosha which is responsible for aging. So our idea for developing oil for mature skin was really find those most nourishing, most rich roots, not just herbs, but herbal roots, because they are Vata pacifying and they're really rebalancing the skin, rejuvenating deeply. So the herb, the roots like bala, like shatavari, and also like different other herbs like manjishta, which is the glow giver. It's really like it's such a beautifully crafted formula. That's how it looks like, and that's what the oil actually. I will Yeah. So we did, I mean, I think it's visible, did put a
colour.
lot of love into this, into packaging, into sourcing the ingredients, like from the first step and from the people who work with us. It really matters to us that they also follow the processes and they are passionate about creating a superior quality product. So everything is quality and everything like we it yeah, as we say, it's not about putting more on the skin, but it's just about selecting the highest quality products.
Yeah, and I think because we launched in November, so we've got quite a lot of market data now and feedback from people on the oil. And the first thing they say, everybody says, "Wow, it just gives me such a glow! Like it's an instant glow giver." And I think because of the color of it, because that gorgeous orange color from the rosehip oil. I mean, we've got rosehip in there, and as many of you know, rosehip is just such a wonderful oil for the skin. So it's part rosehip, part jojoba, part amaranth, and then part sesame, which is what sesame oil is the one that we infuse all of those really rich, nourishing herbs in. So yeah, the first thing they say is it gives them an amazing glow, and then the second thing they say is, "Oh my gosh, my skin feels so soft, like it's so super hydrating." So yeah, we're really pleased with that one. And then the other one that we've got that we're using, Maria and I have been trialing and using now, and we've had some really great feedback on, is our facial cleanser, which is
Oh,
quite
facial
unique, isn't
cleanser,
it?
yeah, it's my personal favorite because I think together these two products are like they just life changing. Honestly, I we absolutely guarantee the results the first time cleanser and oil are applied together, and skin is like it just becomes so smooth. The texture changes, and the enhanced glow is there. Like that's what people notice straight away. But with each use, it actually adds to that health of the skin. So skin becomes healthier with each use. That's what we want. It's not about um, like fixes, quick fixes, but then at the end they add on into a problem, those quick fixes.
Yeah,
But it's about continuous nourishment where you really look after your skin and it becomes healthier and better with each use. That's
yeah.
what important. Yeah.
It's like building a muscle, isn't it? Like the more you exercise that muscle, the stronger it gets. It's the same with the skin, like with the skincare. Like the more you're using it, the healthier your skin becomes.
Exactly. That's a really good
Because I think
example.
because I think what unfortunately the problem we have, where I know we talked about toxic ingredients, but especially with cleansers, because they put a lot of chemicals in there. I mean, obviously there's natural options which are using enzymes and things, but also there we have to be
Still too
careful not to over
harsh. They're
cleanse,
far too harsh. Yeah.
because it can be too harsh. And then we've got the mainstream brands who are just putting all sorts of toxins in to strip the skin, micellar waters and all those sorts of things. And over time, when we're over cleansing, it strips our skin's natural barriers. It strips the oils, and then you may notice, especially if you're over cleansing or over putting too many products on, that you start to get very sensitive skin, and then you
Yes.
can't put anything on your skin.
In general, with age, skin becomes more sensitive. But if people are applying more and more harsh products continuously, like harsh cleansers, retinols daily, and like there is no harm. I'm not saying that retinol is good or bad. It's for everybody to decide. It's overuse of harsh products, daily use of really strong products, which actually with time it uh, it strips the microbiome, the natural microbiome of the skin, and it really completely destroys the protective layer of the skin. And that's why I think this is one of the reasons that people are so susceptible to skin cancer and really like harsh skin problems. It's really disheartening to see, but that's the way we are told that we need to apply more and more, like to have this paper thin glowing skin. It's actually not healthy to have that. It's absolutely not healthy. The skin has to protect us. We have to preserve that protective layer, and that's why we've developed this powder. And it's really beautiful, the powder cleanser. It's quite original. It actually is an ancient Ayurvedic idea. So that was used as a wedding ritual, and it also used as a daily cleanser. I use it every day. And the beauty of it is that it adapts to your age, to your skin type, and even to the season. So I use this cleanser along with my daughter. She loves it. She has like a little bit of a teenage acne, and I have dryness. So it's the way we use it. Like she just uses with water or a little bit of lemon. I also use it either with water or I use it with milk or cream when I need this extra nourishment. And like it's so easy to travel with. I travel a lot and I just take it with me everywhere. And all I need is a little bit of water, and then boom, magic. And if I need to make a nourishing mask, like sometimes I go to the seaside, and obviously that the sun and the salt that then creates the drying effect in the skin. And it's really just a little bit of milk, and then or like apply with yogurt or sour cream for a 10-minute mask. Complete game changer, and just straight away gives me such a beautiful glow. Yeah, so also it's so gentle. It's gentle but super purifying. I used to have acne, and my skin is quite because I was thinking there is a lot of uh, when I didn't want to use the harsh ingredients, then I thought, okay, so I will be using the oils to cleanse my skin. Like people recommend castor oil to cleanse the skin. But what happened with me was that I started to break out badly because the oil was clogging my pores, and the oil applied to skin which is not cleansed, it may clog the pores because it kind of seals everything in. So why it is the game changer is because when you cleanse the oil very gently but deeply and then apply the oil, then it's so beautiful, like these two products together, and that's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, it really works. It's amazing, and I love the idea of the waterless powder. Because it's very unusual, like to say, oh, it's a cleanser, but it's a powder, and it includes so Ayurvedic, so botanicals, like cleansing botanicals like neem, and fenugreek, like they're both brilliant. And then it also has microalgae, so it's like feeding your skin microbiome, and it's also got mineral clay, so it's like super nourishing and purifying. And you can mix it with a liquid medium of your choice. So you literally become your own skin alchemist. So it's actually really good fun. I love it. So depending on what I feel like I need that day, I'll be like, so in the summer now, it's I probably put more rose water and like aloe vera gel in there. And if you're vegan, like Maria just mentioned milk, but you can use vegetable glycerine as a really great option to super nourish as well. If your skin's dry, then you can mix it with oil. You can mix it with water. You can mix it like with water and lemon juice if you've got like small oily skin. So yeah, it's so super versatile and really easy to travel with, and we
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
like this like a little game that you play, and that's why I mean, I didn't get it for my daughter. I actually I started to use it ages ago after suffering from really bad acne, and it really helped to. The initial formula that I used was the basis for creating this formula, and it just really, with each use, I would notice that the skin becomes clearer and clearer, and that the deep acne scars that I had were also fading away. It was just really beautiful to see that. And then at the moment, because I don't want my at 11, I don't think that my daughter should use any skincare, but I'm happy for her to use this because I know how gentle it is. It's not even on a baby. I would use that if I need to cleanse the skin. I would only use that product because it's absolutely natural and only has the most gentle cleanses. But also, I remove my facial makeup with it every day. Um, and like it's deeply cleansing, but in such a gentle way that it's really, yeah, I think it's really impressive. Like, I'm actually quite stunned. I was doing the experiment where I would cleanse my face, and I mean, obviously, if you have a lot of makeup, then you might need to repeat the process like 2 times, um, like with any cleanser. But I done an experiment, and I was applying makeup, and then I cleansed the oil with a cleanser, and I used the alcohol just to check the because sometimes it's still like deeply there is some kind of um, debris or like,
The residue of
yeah,
makeup.
residue. I was like completely spotless. So
Yeah.
that's really beautiful. That's
So they're
amazing.
like our magical duo, aren't they? Really, we like to call them that.
Yeah, yeah. These
Yeah.
two are really great together. Yeah, I think maybe that's it for today. I think it was like a really thorough talk about our products and why we've created them and what is magical medicine about. So I hope it was useful because we do struggle to put ourselves into the tiny
Sixty
little
second slot on a reel. Yeah.
on a reel on Instagram. Yeah, it's like this format is quite challenging for us, but it was really lovely to speak so freely and really um, share our journey. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's we would love to answer any questions that anybody might have, and yeah, like watch the space because me and Sam have decided that's our format. We love chatting, we love sharing, and we would love to do many more of those lives, talking about different skincare techniques. I will be talking about face yoga, and Sam is going to be talking about like Ayurvedic routines for healthy skin. There's going to be so much. So watch the space. We will be announcing our lives, and we will also be posting recorded videos as well. Okay.